Secret cabin in the woods.
Yeah. And the lumber in here, see if you can figure out where it came from. That bottom beam right there is about a 200-year-old beam, and it is, oh God, what is it, the oak? It's basically extinct now, this oak right here.
Oh, really?
This beam, and it is solid. I put it in, and it's American chestnut.
American chestnut.
Yeah, that beam right there. And then that's a popper when I cut. But you can see, I notched these by myself with basically a chainsaw and an axe. And
That's some work right there, Joe.
yeah, it was fun. When you're young, you can do that stuff. And of course, you can tell I have a friend in the monument business.
Oh, yeah.
You see these foot markers? But where do you think that lumber came from?
Dade County pine.
It's pine, but this is railroad car lumber when they used to use wood in rail cars. And I did the top and everything. And it was just, like I said, a little place to come hang out.
Very cool.
My buddies helped me do stuff, a long time ago. I've got to jack it up and level it a little more. It's settled over the years. But that's my window. That's one you would just use a flap over.
You could use this as your hunting blind.
Yeah, you could. I see deer out there all the time. And I probably didn't come out here.
How old is this?
30 years. That's real old.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's I guess a whiskey thing from Anniston. That was my mother-in-law's. And this came from an old house. That's hand-hewed beam.
That a house or a barn?
It actually was from a house. That was a floor. That was on the floor.
Wow.
And it had these sills, underneath. You see how thick they were?
Yeah.
And then this was the top, and I guess they put the boards on the top of it. They had torn the house down, and I got those. And I stuck it under there to just hold that little loft up and everything.
This is cool, Joe.
I got to do a lot of work on it. Like I said, I didn't come out here for 30 years after I built it. I mean, I just didn't have time. You working all the time. And
Joe built this as a young man.
yeah. A lot of blooming down there. It's pretty as wild as that is down there. A long time ago, I was going to look at the clay doing the chinking. I never got to finish it.
How did you flatten these faces?
I had these actually sawed at a sawmill.
Sawed at a sawmill?
Yeah. And then this one, you see this big beam, I did it by hand. I did it by hand. I did that one by hand. That was not with a sawmill. That was with an axe.
I bet that took a long time. And then you said,
it did.
I'm not doing the whole thing with...
I can't do all of them. And see, the one that I replaced with that was that big, and I did it by hand. The front one.
Yeah.
But it had rotted from that end. And so I had a friend that he said, I got some beams like that, and this is part of it too. You can see, look at where they notched in the old barn. This is from a barn. And this was all hand. Look at, you see the axe mark still in it?
Oh, yeah.
So they hand did, this was before sawmills.
Wonder how many rings. Yeah, you'd have to cut the end off.
Yeah, see it. I could see it on that one, but I don't know how. It was that one was hand hewed too. It's a hand hewed beam.
This tree could have started growing in the 15th century.
There's no telling. And it's chestnut, which is extinct.
Why is chestnut extinct now?
The chestnut blight.
Oh.
There used to be 1 in 4 trees here.
Was the chestnut?
Mm-hmm. And they used it for building and all that, but the chestnut blight from Europe or somewhere, it's a fungus that grew on them and killed them all. There's not even any left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice little history lesson.
Yeah. But they're solid as a daggone rock. They don't, put it in old, but it's solid as a rock too. It's got a hole, a round hole where they use the gigantic pegs in that.
Oh, yeah.
See over there? I've got to jack this up a little bit, get a little more level. And have a little bit of termites in it, but not much.
Yeah, you got an old antique jack.
Yeah, that is. It's an old like Model T jack.
Mortar, or what are these called? Headstones.
Foot markers.
Foot markers.
They actually have names on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just flipped them over so I didn't see the names on them or whatever on the other side. There's one I put in there. I actually was going to build this out longer, and I ended up shortening it up a little bit. I got a little, that one, like I said, I did this one by hand. It's still pretty solid, even though it looks pretty rotten right there. It's still pretty solid right under here. Got a bird nest in that one, in the end of that one. But like I said, 44 years old, you know, it's I'm actually getting some rain.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I would hang out. A bunch of us did coon hunting and stuff like that. That's probably a coon skin from 40-something years ago.
Oh, that right there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see the fur on it.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather had about 100, there's a photo where he's got about 100 coon skins nailed to the side of a barn.
Oh, wow.
And after my grandmother had passed away, there was a bill of sale from like 1920 where he paid $3,000 for 2 coon dogs. Can you imagine paying $3,000 100 years ago?
See, some people would do it now. I couldn't imagine then. I got my old bell. This was a bell that was at my grandma's house. I pulled it down and remounted it up here. Thing's good.
This is at your grandmother's?
Yeah. I'll put it up out here one day. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Crystal, it came from up your area that way, that crystal bells or something.
Up in Indiana, you mean?
Yeah, they made like millions of them. Shipped them all over everywhere. And you like it out here, buddy?
She loves trekking around in the woods.
Good. Good deal. Yeah, let's see what we'll come down here. I got a friend that he'll cook for us. He'll come down and cook. I'll have to get you down here one day if he cooks.
Nice little trek out into the woods, Joe.
Yeah. It's the only thing was that when I first built this cabin, the highway wasn't there. That's new 431. When I built it, 431 was on the other end of our road. And now it's old 431. It's brand new 431. This used to be out in the middle of, you didn't hear anything out here.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Where's that long leaf pine around the next bend? I'll put that on there.
Yeah.
They're pretty rare, aren't they?
Well, in some areas they are. They've about, they started a reintroduction plan, and a lot of areas they planted them in the national forest and protected them.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what they used to build the cabins out of, because they're more heart pine. They have more resin in them than other trees, and so they're resistant to termites and all that. But like I said, this one, we've got some on the other side over there. I can show you at the barn. They're probably like that big. They're huge.
They're huge.
Yeah. Now probably they do good if the woods are burned off occasionally, because it stimulates the seeds to grow. And so if this were burned off regular, I'd probably have more of these growing. Usually shake it. There's a seed right there.
That's what came out of it?
Yeah, that's the little seeds. Some of them have a little bit bigger. Yeah, there's another one right there. Seeds may have already come out. There's another one. Yeah, you could grow these. It's tiny. But they start out and take years to grow. Years to grow. But they're protected now in the forest, the national forest. Probably what they want me to do is give them one. Yeah.
There's a load of red cedar. Nice trade with my friend.